All right, let's talk about the true cost of a rehabilitation or rehab or whatever you like to make ready, whatever you call it, when we're talking about real estate specifically. So, okay, so let me set the table a little bit. Please like and subscribe and for more content like this. Again, the goal of my channel is to help educate people about real estate and from a very granular level up to a well, as far as my knowledge goes anyway. I still don't consider myself an expert. I'm still learning every day. I've been in the game a little bit. So anyways, let's get to it. So when you're looking at a property, let's say you got a property under contract, you have a period called a due diligence period. So basically what that means is you have enough time to go through the property, find out any defects or anything like that you may want to address, or concerns that you may want to address before you actually like finalize the purchase. So you have what's called your earnest money that's usually put down, right? Okay, so you found the property, you like it, they say we'll agree to give you 15 days or 15 days to like for a due diligence period. Most times that's enough time to get it done. Sometimes you can negotiate or ask for more time because whatever reason. Generally, people will let you go ahead and push it out if you need to. But when you look at the total cost of everything, right, there's a soft cost and there's a hard cost. So let's start with the due diligence, the soft cost. When you first get the property, your due diligence period, that was 15 days, you probably have about 15 phone calls that you need to make just right from jump. And I'm not going to go through every single phone call you need to make, but we will go through every single process of person you need to call. First person I would call is, well, it's not in any particular order, but you want to call a handyman, someone you've worked with, maybe you have a history with, or someone that was recommended to you. Have your handyman walk it, right? Second phone call you need to make is have your property manager walk the site with you. And hopefully you got a referral from them to go ahead and, find a good property manager, because chances are, if they're any good, they have experience with buying properties, managing them. So they're going to look at it with a different set of eyes. You need their eyes. And this is for people who, whether you're, in my opinion, if you are self-managing or if you're going to hire it out, either way is good, just to have that feedback from a manager's perspective. Because let's say you get to a certain point and you don't want to manage it anymore, you want to just hand it off to someone, well, at least you have that relationship. And again, most of these people may charge you, but again, we're talking about a big purchase here. So hopefully you have enough in reserves to cover everyone's cost, or you probably should be buying. Okay, so we got your handyman, property manager. Chances are your real estate agent or broker, whoever is going to be with you too. That's so great. You want to have a plumber there, right? They want to look at the sewers, make sure there's no bellies in the sewer line. A belly is essentially like this little divot where the earth has eroded away from the pipe, so it causes the pipe to sag in the sewer line. So that's a belly. Those are really bad, right? And you also need to make sure that your pipes are flowing downhill, not uphill, right? Because that's why they get the term shit rolls downhill as a plumbing. You don't want it, because there are some properties that the plumbing may be below grade, or the house may be below grade, so they have to drop it so the plumbing is going down like this. You want to make sure that if that is the case, you're aware of it, because you may have to replumb that, and that can be very expensive, right? That could be 10 grand right there, depending on how long the run is. A run, they call it a run. That's from the plumbing from your house to the main, where the street is, where the city you can tie into their line. That's a run. If that's a long run, that can cost a lot of money. Okay, so that's $10,000 that can set you back just like that. So you want to make sure that you call the plumber and they know that. And if you choose to take it on, there are some alternatives that I've seen done. They do make a pump that will pump everything up and carry it. But again, I don't want to get too far in the weeds. I just want to make this video pretty simple and talk about the true cost of the rehab. Okay, so we got your plumber down. Next, you want to have your electrician come in. You want to make sure the place's panel looks good. Everything is grounded properly. And that just means that, you don't want to plug anything in and get electrocuted or, have it blow a fuse somewhere. So these are things you need to be thinking about. Electrician's always good. And then, who else are we talking about here? You want to call a roofer. Have your roofer come out, put eyes on it, give you an estimate. And then you want to call your home inspector. Most banks and lenders require you to have a home inspection anyway, just because they want to make sure that, the property is in good condition and there is nothing that was missed or will be missed. Because you got to make sure it's fundable. If it's not, then you talk about other loan options maybe. If you're doing a 203k loan or a construction loan, whatever, the bank needs to know what they're working with. And then the next call you need to make is to your architect. Now, if you get into adding bedrooms and, changing plumbing and all that stuff, if you're taking on a big rehab like that, well, you're going to want to have drawings, right? You're going to want to make sure everything the city approves it and all that stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff that has to go through there. And I guess that's, an HVAC person. You want to have an HVAC person come out, look at the systems, make sure there's no surprises there. Make sure your years of life on the unit is acceptable for you. So you know that ahead of time. And then, I would say that's probably a good core right there. Now, let's talk about soft cost. Your soft costs are the drawings, the architect fees, permit fees, submitting all your permits to the city. All of those things are soft costs. That's all the costs that before you actually even do anything to the property, you could be in it $15,000. And I'm telling you from experience, it hurts. There's pain. This isn't to scare anyone, but this is why they say on your first deal, you probably don't want to take on a huge project like myself. I took it on because I'm a brute for punishment. But I would not recommend it. Looking back on it, the deal was so good for me that I had to take a chance. Even though I have a lot of experience in the business, I still got hurt. And there's no way to in this business, you will lose money. Just know that. You can do all of the homework, you can do all of the information, and properties are different, and there's always a boogeyman in every property that pops out. Let's just say you nail everything, you got it right. You may have a bad tenant you pick. So it can go left very easily, very quickly. So, don't be too hard on yourself. So those are your soft costs. Then your hard costs are materials, right? Labor. Those are always more expensive than your soft cost. Materials are generally still less expensive than your labor. Your labor cost is what really takes you to the moon. Material costs are starting to catch up to that just because the cost of everything, but cost of windows, all that stuff. That's why it's good to make a little Excel sheet. You could itemize everything. And again, this is not for your first one or the rookie getting into the business. I would not recommend. Even if you found, let's just say, usually it's going to be an old house, right? Anything from the 40s, 50s, maybe even before that. The property I bought was in 1947, and there was construction, they did things back then that I didn't even know, you know, so it was a learning curve for me. Now that I'm done, it was an education because I feel confident enough that I can take on an old property because I know exactly what to go after. The other thing you need to think about is, in an older building in particular, is asbestos, lead, you know, all of those types of things. You want to make sure you clear it out, get rid of it. It's just nasty stuff. And, you know, make sure you, but you can't do it. You have to have a licensed professional take care of that for you. So this is just some tips and tricks that I've learned from a lot of pain, from mistakes, for myself. But that's what I would do if I, you know, when it comes to soft costs, hard costs. The labor is what's going to get you. So anytime you're budgeting a project, and this is just a good rule, and I hate like rules because you're constantly learning and evolving, and this stuff it's a lot of information. But one rule is you always want to estimate 15% miscellaneous costs, just because give yourself some room. I've never done a project that I didn't go over on. So 15% miscellaneous cost is always a safe number because you don't know what's going to go wrong. The city may revise your plans, have you do extra work that you didn't anticipate. I have a really interesting story when dealing with cities, so maybe I'll make that video one of these days. But let's just say, depending on where you're located in the country, they could be very challenging. Most cities, with a lot of people, densely populated cities tend to be a lot harder to work with. But that's another video, another topic for another day. But again, I just want to educate you on what you should do on your soft costs. What you should do when you first buy a property. It's about 15 calls you got to make. The first part of this video, you have to do that anyway. That's just a given. Now, when you come to the architect, I put that one at the end because you don't have to do that if this is your first deal. But let's just say it's not your first deal. Maybe it's your second deal, third deal. You want to get into a rehab situation. That's where you can benefit from all the other information. But the last caveat, in my opinion, the money is made when you buy real estate and when you rehab it, because you're adding value to it, and it's usually an old property in a great location, like in an inner city or something like that, in a great part. The area is transformed, but this little property hasn't because of whatever reason. No one, bad ownership, what have you. You get the opportunity to come in and make it great again, and you can go ahead and capitalize on that. So hopefully this was helpful to you. I just want to make a quick video, and yeah, please like and subscribe. Take care. Bye.